Now that Kirk Burrowes has corroborated Keefe's story in regards to the $1 million hit on Tupac and Suge, will the feds now go after Diddy for conspiring to commit murder? Yeah, this is very interesting, man. That's what the feds said that they were looking for. Let's get into some of the straight game.
Life is like those cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click on the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of the straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you may have not been up on the latest news and what was being said in reference to what the feds were looking for. But the federal government has been in close proximity to the Nevada state government involving the investigation into Tupac's death. So even though Keefe has been charged, they've still been looking into it. So I'm going to show you how this and what they basically said that they were looking for and what they didn't have at the time, and what's changed. Check this out. So look, when you go back, okay, so now Keefe in his police interview and media chats that Diddy had offered him the $1 million for killing Tupac, right? At the height of the East-West Coast rap wars. That astonishing allegation has never been corroborated by any other gang members or hard evidence. And Diddy has never been arrested or charged in connection with Tupac's murder, right? Reps for Combs declined to comment when approached by the Sun News, but the rap mogul has denied the claim in the past, telling All Hip Hop in 2008, this story is beyond ridiculous and completely false. Neither Biggie nor I had any knowledge of any attack before, during, or after it happened. It's a complete lie. Now, I want you to focus on that statement, and what I want you to focus on most importantly is the second paragraph when it said, that astonishing allegation has never been corroborated by any other gang members or hard evidence, and Diddy has never been arrested or charged in connections with Tupac's murder, right? So let that soak in for a minute, because what I'm going to give you next is what they've been doing and what's been happening in regards to that, right? So look, check it out. Interestingly, among the allegations in his lawsuit, this is the recent lawsuit filed by Kirk Burrowes. Listen, interestingly, among the allegation in his lawsuit, Burrowes implies that Diddy was behind Tupac's death. He claims that Diddy felt an unchecked jealousy toward Tupac, which led him to allegedly conjure a murder plot. Now, this is very interesting because, as you've seen in the paragraph before, and I'm going to give you to when the feds, what they were doing with the Las Vegas police, right? So Kirk Burrowes, for people who don't know, Kirk Burrowes is a guy who was co-owner of Bad Boy Entertainment in and around the time that things like this were going on, the East and West Coast beef. So what they're saying is, and what his lawsuit is implying is, that he would have knowledge of the information of the hit, and so on and so forth, would be a believable witness who could corroborate, or basically now has corroborated, the Keefe story. When you talk about that, you see what it says. Burrow implies that Diddy was behind Tupac's death. He claims that Diddy felt an unchecked jealousy toward Tupac, which led him to allegedly conjure up the murder plot, right? So let that soak in. I just wanted you, these are the facts that recently came out. And you see in the first paragraph, they would talk about nobody has corroborated it, right? So they couldn't really move on it without corroboration. Okay, check it out now. Look, after allegedly feeling insecure about Tupac's talent and popularity, Burrowes claims that Diddy grew upset over the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac's starting to develop a friendship, and that his anger allegedly caused him to be reckless and created a dangerous environment in the hip-hop community. It's reported that days before Tupac's murder in Las Vegas, Diddy rented cars from men from Harlem to drive across the country into Nevada City. It said that the caravan was not connected to Bad Boy Records in any way. Now, who could Kirk Burrowes possibly be talking about? Zip or whoever else was in Vegas from that perspective. Now, this part about the rental cars and people driving from Harlem, this is new information. So once again, that would definitely pique the eyes and ears of the investigators investigating this situation when you think about it from a different standpoint. But as we go on, I'm going to show you a little bit more so that you understand what the feds have already been doing, but they just couldn't corroborate it. Check it out now. Currently, a man named Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is awaiting a trial after being charged over his involvement with Tupac's murder, and his name apparently turns up in Burrowes' lawsuit. It's alleged that Diddy made a $1 million deal with Davis, but he ended up having issues with getting the money to Davis. So now, Kirk Burrowes is now explicitly saying that, yeah, in no uncertain terms, that Diddy did have a relationship with Keefe D. They did make $1 million deal. Kirk Burrowes would have firsthand information about that, and being the co-president, being around in close proximity to the situation, right? He would be one of the people that would actually know. And in this paragraph, basically, he's saying, hey, you know what? Kirk Burrowes put Keefe D name in his lawsuit, right? It's alleged that Diddy made a $1 million deal with Davis, but ended up having issues with getting Davis the money, right? Okay. So we know that much, but we hadn't heard it from Kirk Burrowes and him putting it in his civil lawsuit. Remember, this is how the situation with Cassie started and ended up into criminal charges. And this was before shortly after we seen the tape, but her civil suit had landed or should I say, started the ball rolling that ended up with criminal charges, right? So check it out now. So, because for most people that don't know, listen, it says self-confessed Los Angeles gang kingpin Keefe D is currently the only person charged with the assassination of the rap icon in September 1996, and it was not known that there was any ongoing federal investigation related to the crime. A source said federal officials, however, have been collating information by Vegas prosecutors and their teams about wider claims and connections to criminal activity, gangland activity, and individuals who wanted Pac dead. Now, who do you think that they are talking about? I'm going to show you in a minute. But more importantly, once again, in the first paragraph, you heard him say that nobody has been able, or they haven't been able to corroborate it from any gang members or anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Burrowes just corroborated what he knew about the situation. Now, the only thing that I see a problem is whether Keefe D got the money or not. You know what I mean? Would that basically say that, hey, well, because he didn't get the money, that it didn't happen? Now, if the feds went to say to Keefe D and said that into the Nevada state government, say, look, you can take this charge. We're gonna charge Diddy. You testify against him. Kirk Burrowes is gonna testify against him. I wouldn't say it's a slam dunk case, but it's a damn sure possibility that might happen. But listen to this, because I want to show you this right here. This is the crux of it from the understanding of what's going on. Listen. A Las Vegas legal source said federal agents and Clark County DAs and their investigators have secretly been talking about the Keefe case for the last few months. The federal investigators have their work centered around the modern day activity of Diddy, but they know that Las Vegas has been collating information for the last couple of years on the Tupac case, as well as speaking to tens of witnesses. Truthfully, their work pulling together many agencies' files from nearly 30 years about Keefe and his interactions with criminal elements is the most extensive probe of Tupac's killing and network ever. So federal agents smartly have not doubled up on the work, right? But have been made aware of what is happening. Also, collaborations makes gaining access to federal documents easy too. The feds know who Metro investigators have spoken to about the case and are aware of witnesses too. Just what this means for Diddy remains to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, you see where that's going? What's the last thing they said? Just what this means for Diddy remains to be seen. So we see now the Kirk Burrowes situation, right? In the beginning, what they talked about, they said what remains to be seen. They've been talking to people, right? Whether they talked to Kirk Burrowes yet, we don't know about that. But now we do know about this lawsuit. And once again, 2 + 2 has always been 4. So when we talk about what happened with Cassie, we talk about what she said about Diddy trying to go get at Suge at the restaurant, Jerry's Deli, when there was a problem, and they had like some kind of little standoff. And now we're talking about Kirk Burrowes basically saying, hey, you know what? Diddy, in fact, did orchestrate and put a hit on Tupac Shakur. Like I said, and this is not, like I said, I like to bring the facts, man. This is not something that, look, here it is, right? Interestingly, among the allegations in the lawsuit, Burrowes implies that Diddy was behind Tupac's death. You can't get no more explicit than that. He claims that Diddy felt an unchecked jealousy towards Tupac, which was what led him to allegedly conjure the murder plot. Then you go back down to the bottom. What they saying? Federal investigators have their work centered around the modern day activity of Diddy. And in the last sentence, what they say, just what this means for Diddy remains to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just got interesting. It's just gotten interesting for the people who really understand and know what's been going on. Do I know or think whether they will charge Diddy in connection with Tupac's murder, along with Keefe D? From that perspective, I would think that would really truly depend on the conviction or not, or some kind of deal that they probably could offer Keefe D in regards to him testifying against Diddy and Kirk Burrowes testifying against Diddy. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on in reference to the case, but that also gives Kirk Burrowes a little bit of leverage in his case to make Diddy would want to settle with that case right now and try to prevent any kind of testimony in regards to the Tupac murder. But I think if intelligence heads prevail, I think the feds probably already on it already. You know what I mean? If they were going to do something from that perspective. But like I said, they would have to make a hell of a deal with Keefe D from that perspective. Probably something like time served, 10 years, time served since he wasn't the gunman. He was involved with the case, but he wasn't the gunman. 10 years, time served. He already been in there 2 years. He might do 8, from that perspective with the, the agreed testimony. So that wouldn't, be like, okay, well, he's totally getting off because he had the proffer deal, but he spoke out that's been avoided out based on him speaking out against it. So like I said, man, this is heating up to be something interesting, man. It's heating up to be something interesting, and we gonna stay tuned. Like I said, your boy DELRAY, straight game.